What's up gamers, DreamcastGuy here, and I just spent 6 hours playing the new Battlefield 1 beta. I wanted to give you my first impressions on what I think of it so far. Military shooters have become very stale in the last few years. With Call of Duty releasing 70 sequels and Rainbow Six Siege focusing all its efforts on multiplayer, people have been left craving something a little different. Thankfully, Battlefield 1 has stepped up to fill that need by taking things into the past. In the year 1914, the First World War broke out. This was a savage struggle that lasted nearly half a decade, and in that time we saw the invention of many of the weapons that we still in some form use today. Things like sniper rifles, fully automatic machine guns, and combat-ready planes. Battlefield 1 seems to be doing a decent job of capturing a raw sense of realism while still making a pretty thrilling experience. For this beta, we got 2 game modes that could be played on one massive map. This scorched desert is called St. Quentin's Scar. Looking at it from this cliff makes it seem almost too large, but with 64 players running around, it's easy to always find some action. The game types we can try here are Conquest, which has you taking zones to earn points, and Rush, a mode where you're planting bombs inside your enemy's base to slowly tear it apart. By far, the biggest change from previous Battlefields or other first-person shooters is that gameplay is a bit slower. You run at a normal human pace, guns don't reload instantly, and sometimes driving across the map will take you a few seconds. This is not at all a bad thing, but I think it takes about an hour to get used to. If you've never tried a Battlefield title before, this is a much more technical style of game. Instead of just building a loadout of your favorite guns and charging into combat, you have 4 classes to work with, each with its own special abilities and weapons. We have Assault, Medic, Support, and my personal favorite, the Scout. Assault carries anti-tank gear and a nasty machine gun for mowing people down who are dumb enough to get close to him. The Medic comes packing a mid-range rifle and a kit that lets him revive recently dead soldiers. Support is all about moving fast and helping out. His gun sprays loads of ammo, but luckily his talent is that he can drop more bullets for everyone nearby. The Scout uses an extremely powerful sniper rifle that with a little practice can dominate every match. While I enjoyed testing out each of these characters, it's easy to see that the Medic is by far the weakest and the Scout the strongest. Let me explain why. Whenever you die, a small timer appears in the corner of the screen counting down how long until you can come back to life. You can choose to call for help so that a medic will come save you, or just hold revive to respawn faster. I can safely say that 100% of people just tap spawn without a second thought. This leaves medics as regular soldiers with fancy abilities they never get to use, which is a shame because during some of the harder moments I really wish somebody could pick me back up so I could keep fighting. Now when it comes to the Scout, I say that it's the most powerful class in the beta for one simple reason. By competing in battles, you earn war bonds. This is money that can be spent to upgrade and further customize your character. The first thing you can buy for the sniper is a rifle that has ridiculously high damage and a scope that can see for miles. Combine that with this map and a well-trained player can get a serious kill streak going. It's not exactly broken, it just feels like something that'll work better in the full game. Something that helps keep stuff slightly more balanced is the use of vehicles. With tanks, planes, cars, and horses, anytime one team starts getting a major lead, a little careful planning can even the score out. There were several times when I was able to win a round of Rush by grabbing an armored tank and letting my squad mates respawn inside my vehicle to fill up the turrets. Cruising this death machine through the center of town was brutally awesome. As you can see, environments are pretty destructible. All explosives seem to tear up your surroundings in a realistic fashion, especially if you're flying the bomber. This plane is built for wiping out ground forces, while the other 2 are a little better equipped for air combat. Swooping low over the field and unleashing a payload is strangely satisfying. By far, my favorite mode of transportation though is something joining the series for the first time, the horses. Riding these creatures into battle is nothing short of absolutely epic. There were actually moments where I found myself laughing out loud as I charged up on an unsuspecting enemy and chopped him with my sword at full speed. If you want to, it's also possible to wield your normal guns, but I found my accuracy while mounted was pretty bad. Overall, I think the gameplay is highly refined, perhaps some of the sharpest aiming mechanics I've tried this year. Pairing that together with the incredible graphics, evolving landscape, crazy train shootouts, and huge storms, I have to say that things are shaping up nicely. My few major problems come from how you customize your player. Leveling up each class takes forever. You basically have to choose a character at the very start and just play them non-stop if you want any hope of unlocking their best gear. The other lame issue in this beta is editing your loadout is a bit sloppy. For example, you can only actually change things on your character or shop for new gear while actually in a battle. There is a tab that's grayed out on the main screen that's marked Soldier. I assume it's here that we're going to be able to work on that stuff specifically, but I have this weird sneaking suspicion that there's going to be some major balance issues at the start of the game. Hopefully they get everything figured out before launch, because it's coming up very soon and I'm eager to see how online works when we have access to every weapon for all classes. If Battlefield 1 ends up having a good single player to match this solid multiplayer, we could easily be looking at the best shooter of the year. Well, these have been my first impressions on the beta so far. Have you played it? What do you think of it? Let me know what you love the most and hate the most in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching, gamers. This has been DreamcastGuy with another review. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, maybe check out my last video. Please subscribe, and if you want, share this somewhere with your friends.